Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Boke Joanne, and I'm going to repeat and show you how I did my Lexi Cardigan. And the reason why I'm repeating this video or tutorial is because the color part, it looks like I did not set my camera right, and at the same time it was a little bit dark or blurry. So I'm going to show you how I did the colors. Alright, so I'm going to use these two colors. Actually, the whole cardigan I'm going to use 3 colors, and I'm going to use Red Hat Super Saver, and this is, which color is this? Let me see, gold, and this is white, and it's Red Hat Super Saver, and I'm going to use this one too, Red Hat Super Saver, navy, soft navy. Okay, so these are the 3 colors I'm going to use for this cardigan. But I usually do not repeat the same pattern twice, regardless of anything, because all my patterns, I do them as I go. I never write them, and I never refer anywhere to write the patterns. So sometimes I do one time a pattern and I do it as I go. So if I don't record it, or if I don't put some notes down, sometimes I don't remember like the patterns again, because I do it as I go, and it's a one-time thing that I do sometimes, unless and otherwise. So because I'm going to repeat making the cardigan, the collars, the same collar that I did for the Lexi cardigan, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I did the pattern to the collar. Okay, so this is how it's going to turn. Actually, this is Tapestry, and I'm using extended single crochet stitch. This bottom one, or this from here to here, it's extended single crochet. But in the last 2 loops, you pull with that different color, which is the gold color. Okay, so it's like an extended single crochet, but in the last 2 loops, what you do, you pull it with the different color, which is the gold right now. And for the previous, for the cardigan, the cardigan that I did, I chained 110 chain, actually 111, yes, 111, and that will fit extra small to small size. But if you really needed a fitted one, then it will fit a medium person. That's like really if you need it a little bit tight to your body. So 110 stitches will fit a medium person. But this one is a different cardigan that I'm doing, and I chained 101 stitches. Okay, so this is how I do my tapestry. Okay, usually the yarn that I'm going to use in the last 2 loops, that's the one I wind. The one that I'm using in extended single crochet minus the last 2 loops, I usually do not wind it on my arm. And what I usually make sure I do, you have to stick with the same color. Like if you're winding the gold one, keep on winding that until the end of the row or until the end of the pattern. Otherwise it may slightly change your pattern colors or something. So that this is how I do it. Okay, so I make sure this is well aligned, and I hold the 2 together, see, like so, pull one again, and in the last 2 you do that. And then if it's too loose, you pull this slightly, not too tight. some people may end up pulling it a little bit too tight, and if you are that type of a person who kind of forgets and you pull it too tight, I will encourage you to use a size 6mm needle so that you don't make your work more shrunk. So because with the tapestry it's easy for you to pull on the tension so hard. So pull, yarn over, pull one, then pull the last two with a different color. Repeat the same, yarn over, pull one, then pull the last two. Last two. And this is, you see, this is a slightly loose, so I pull it a little bit just to make it well aligned. One thing I need to point out, like when you're doing the first 2 rows, it may be really hard on your fingers, so you just be careful because you may get so tired so easily. So when that happens to me, I change the way I hold my needle. So I usually hold it like a pencil usually, and that's how I like to do it. But then when I get so tired, I just change it and hold it in a different way. So let me do this so you guys can see. Okay, the reason why I like to hold the needle this while I'm demonstrating, it's easy for you guys to see. When I hold it like a pencil, it's hard for you guys to see, so I don't know, but I'm so comfortable holding my needle the other way. Like this. See. Just one, another one, and pull the last two. Same, another, the one, then pull the last two, another one, like that. Then it's like you chaining this stitch, like you chain it one time, and then you yarn over both of them. See, like, see that? Only you pull off one, see, like that, and then it's like, you know, it's like you're chaining this one stitch, then you pull both. So that's the sequence, see, like that. Like that. See, chain there, and then in there. Maybe I should do one now, the last part of it. I'm just winding this so it doesn't come out, so I just want to make it a little bit tight, see, that way, and then like that, and then like this. So, and this is the end part. And then now we're gonna turn. Usually on my stuff, when I turn, I don't like to chain, and the reason why I don't like to chain is because sometimes when you chain, it adds extra stitches on this side, especially when we know we are going to work on this side, because we're going to work on this side of the collar, or we're going to clean up later. It will add too many stitches on the side, but you can also add if you want to, but usually I prefer not to. So again, we're gonna still maintain that one. So alright, I'm going to turn. So usually, as I said, I don't like to chain, so I will still make sure I maintain my gold color wound on my finger, and this one I'm gonna be using it. So I'm gonna do the first stitch, so, and then I can show you in the next stitches, because this is a little bit hard to get it, but I don't like to chain, and as I said, it adds more stitches on the side, so that's why I don't want to chain for now. But if you so wish, you can do it, but I usually don't. Alright, so what I'm gonna show you on this side, okay, this looks like the right side and this side looks like the wrong side. So what I'm going to do now, you see these white threads right here, this free, it's like a free stitch right here. See these ones? Let me see if I can be able to show you this one. Okay, this one, you see these white ones, these free stitches right here, all these ones. This is where we're going to crochet on these ones, these white ones right here. See, all these white ones, that's the ones we're going to crochet. So those will be where we put all our stitches in. So we're going to stitch in those areas. I think they are just the free stitches, but we will maintain the same stitch. Like, you know, you pull one, yarn over, pull as in you're making a chain, then pull the last two. Same thing. Alright, so that's how you do this, see? And this is gonna look like that. But if you want this side to look yellow, like the golden, and this side to look white, so what you will need to do, let me show you in a minute. This is just to show you the difference. Like if you want that to be a different color, this side to be a different color, and this side to be a different color, what you need to do, you switch off the colors. So you see, like if we were using this yellow one on the previous row, so this side you make sure you wind the white one. Okay, you wind the white one on your finger so the white one can be at the top. So that's how you make the colors different, but you still maintain the stitches right here. See, just still do these stitches. So I'm just gonna show you this one so you can see the difference. See, you do that, and you do that. So this is the different ways you can do it if you so choose to, but okay, so you see, if you choose to do that, so this side it's going to be having that color, and this side is going to be having the white color. Okay, so I'm just showing it to you that you can choose to do that too. Okay, so but for now I'm going to use only I'm going to use the yellow colors or the golden color. So, and I will now maintain my golden color at the top all the time. See that way? Okay, so you do the same all the way to the end, and then you can do this like maybe about 5 rows or maybe 6 rows, however long you want your collar to be. And then when you come in the next round, and I'll show you how where I'm going to finish my collar. Okay, so I'm going to do this about 4 to 5 rows, then and I'll show you what to do next. and then everything will look like that. All right. Alright guys, as you can see, I've done the rows. These are 50 oh I'm sorry, 5 rows already. So this is how it looks. See, the both sides are reversible, and as I mentioned earlier, if you need this side yellow and this side white, all you need to do is remember to wind the every other row you have to wind the white one, so this side will be yellow and this side will be white. Okay, just to mention it out there. All right, so this is the first part of the collar. So the next part of the collar, I have to make a block, and by making the block I'm going to do I'm going to make like a slip stitch, like maybe 3 rows of slip stitch, and then after that I'm gonna continue with a different stitch, so to make the complete collar, right? So this is a little portion of the collar, and usually I like to make the landmark so it's easy for me to fold them. So if you want, this can be the first part of the collar, or if you want it wider, then I'll show you how to do the second in the second block. So let's say I'm going to carry over this yarn because I don't want to cut it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and carry it over because I may need to use it in about maybe 3 rows or something. Alright, so since I'm not chaining, I usually start at the very end right here, but when you chain you can skip one, but because I don't like to chain, I don't skip anything. Alright, so all this, it's gonna be a slip stitch all the way. Actually what I'm gonna do, I'm going to slip stitch on these ones right here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to see if this size is going to work, the size needle is going to work. If it doesn't work, then I'll use a smaller size gauge. So let's see how it goes first. So this is a slip stitch all the way, and don't skip any stitches. It's a little bit too tight. I made it a little bit too tight, but let's see how it's gonna work. So what happened if yours gets a little bit tight, and I will as you go on the other videos you will see what happened. I usually encourage you to pick up the stitch with a smaller size needle like this. You just pick it up, you don't use it to crochet because it may change the tension. So all you need to do is just pick up the stitches like that, but use this one, the big one, to, you know, crochet like that. So if it's too tight, but hopefully you guys, you don't make it too tight, because if it's too tight it will change the tension of your work and it may kind of shrink. So if you know how to adjust the gauge tension for the experienced crocheters, you can continue using this. But if you're not experienced and you think that using this size will change your tension, don't use it. Just use it to pick up the stitches, as I showed you. Like how you do it is you just use it to pick up the stitches, and by picking up the stitches I mean you do that, but don't crochet with it. Just use the bigger one to pull it. Okay, that's what I mean by picking up the stitches. But if you are experienced and you know how to adjust your tension with a smaller size needle to fit with this needle, all you need to do is just use it and crochet along. But for teaching purposes, I'm not going to use it for now. I'll just go ahead and use this one, and if I need it, I'll use it to pick up the stitches. So do this all the way to the end. It's like a slip stitch all the way to the end. And in most of the videos, I think I've also shown some tutorials of this, because I'm doing the collar, and I'd like you guys to get like a good you know you like to make sure like you get it right. Just go ahead and just show it. But otherwise, I have this part of the tutorial in the next, I think on the 5th tutorial, or on the 4th. One of those two has one. So you make a slip stitch right here, and you make like let's say 2, this one, the next one is gonna be here, and then the third one right here. So, but if you want, you can make it really thick. So this is how I'm going to do it all the way to the end. Just slip stitch all the way to the end. And another thing, I think you guys have seen also my other videos where I suggested that you can use this slip stitch to for your afghan. And once I make this one, you'll see how it turns out. It's really a good stitch to use on your afghans too, like on the edges. So it's very easy, very simple, and it makes your work a little bit neater and neat. And on the edges of my cardigan, I usually use this so that I make the finishing or the edges to look nice and neat. So this is one of the stitches that I really like, the slip stitch. It's one of my favorite. And then my extended single crochet is another one. So those two, I don't know, I mostly use those two. Those are my favorite stitches. Alright, just keep on doing this all the way. Then when I come back, I will show you how to do on the other side. So I'll see you then. Alright, here I am at the end of the row, and because this one I'm going to turn it on the other side, I will chain so it can help me to turn. Okay, so I chain one, and then it's going to help me to turn to this side and work on this side, as you can see. So what happened here, you have to make sure you get it all the way to the corner and everything, so you get all the stitches right here. And then now I'm going to slip stitch right here in between these two stitches. See these two one right here? So you slip stitch all the way to the end, and this is one of this one. Okay, so that's where I'm going to slip stitch. So you slip stitch all the way to the end, and then as you can see, it's still straight. If you see your work is bending inward, then it means your tension is too tight, so try to release it to make it straight. If that happens, like if you see it's kind of folding inward or shrinking inward, what you need to do, make sure you use a wider needle. If you're using the smaller needle or the 5.5 and it tends to shrink in, because usually a slip stitch tends to shrink in stuff, like it makes it narrow. So you can go ahead and use a bigger needle so that it can adjust the tension. Alright, so as I told you, I'm going to slip stitch in between these two stitches right here. And if your needle is too big to pass through these two stitches, you will still use a smaller needle to pick up the stitches. So it's okay to use the smaller one to just pick up the stitches. So but mine, I think I made them good enough, so I wouldn't have any problem. So you do this, the same one all the way, like you do the same thing all the way to the end. Okay, you know, let me do this way so you can see. Like if I do this way, you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Do that way. Like that. So as you can see, look, see, it's folding in well, see. So this is how it's going to look, but I still have one more row, and when I do the other row, I'm going to do it either at the top here, like right here at the top, right here, so it's all well around. Actually no, not the top. The top here, I'm going to do the other stitches. I will do it right here on the side, right here and right here. This one I will do it to use it for other stitches, like for the next block. Okay, so don't do at the top, just do on the side. I'll show you when I come back. Okay. Okay guys, now as you can see, this is how it looks like. All right, so I'm gonna do one more row, then